Alright, welcome back to The Witcher 3.
Yennefer's suspicions proved true. Ciri had appeared in
Better sound quality this time, hopefully.
From another world together with a masked mage.
And hopefully
She
better
and the
frame
mage
rate.
had fought the wild hunt before fleeing through portals that carried them to Bellin. There, one trail ended, another began. A good time later, the wild hunt had reappeared on Hindusfjall, meaning Ciri, too, might have returned to Skellige.
Alright, animals, play nice.
That's it, Roach.
Where am I going? Let's find out. That seems like a good quest. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and fast travel there. So I'm going to go ahead and play some Gwent. Gwent is fun. It's definitely one of the most fun mini games I've ever played in one of these types of games. But first I have to make sure it's daytime. So let's go ahead and meditate to daytime. And there we go. Cool. Alright, let's find someone who might be willing to play.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Nope, went there.
See ya.
Fare thee well.
A lot of merchants and armorers and people like that tend to play Gwent. A lot of tavern people as well. But I don't know if we're actually going to find any here. No, I don't want to do your quests. I can always come back to that. You don't have to take every quest you find. That's one of the things you're going to have to learn. There's a lot of quests in this game. And if you take too many of them, you'll start to forget which ones you've taken, which ones you've started, and your quest journal will just fill up very quickly. Alright, this guy will play Gwent with me.
Very well be your lucky day. Spending hard-earned coin, that's an art in itself.
Alright, Gwent. So, put your bet
Hard to
down.
argue with that. Want a bit more to spend, though. So how about a game of Gwent?
You first have to pick your deck. This is the kind of thing you accumulate cards throughout the course of the game. I'm decently far along. My Northern Realms deck is pretty good. You can have one deck for each of the 4 factions. Most of mine, in fact all of mine, could technically be played with, but I'm going to use my Northern Realms because that's the one I know the best. So I'm going to go ahead and start the game. Now at the beginning, it'll show you exactly what cards you're going to use. These are the cards that you'll only be able to use throughout the course of the game, so you have to be very strategic with how you play. A lot of these have abilities. I'm not going to go into too much depth with them, but I'm going to switch out some of my cards. I get a chance to redraw a couple. And I'm looking for these ones. See the little eye? Those are spy cards. Those I put into my enemy's play space, which help him out. But in exchange, I get to gather a couple more cards in my deck. Now there are 3 different rows here that you can place cards into, and those correspond to the attack type of that particular unit. So for instance, sword goes into the front line, bow goes into the middle, and artillery goes into the back. And you have to be careful with where you put your particular units and which units you play, because sometimes playing lots of units in the same slot can be very helpful, and sometimes it can be very detrimental. I'm going to go ahead and start with my most basic ones that don't have any extra abilities. Play that. The number corresponds to their attack value. So 5 is decent. I'd say it's about halfway in between. You can see that his total attack for both of his 2 units right now is 8, because the spy I played had 0 attack, so it didn't help him at all. My 1 is 5, so I'm going to go ahead and play another one. And you keep going back and forth until someone gives up. And it's the best of 3 turns. So first person to win 2 wins. This card right here doubles the attack of anyone in this particular row. which is why I said sometimes playing on all in the same row can be very helpful. However, I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit dirty. My leader has an ability. All leaders have an ability. In this case, my leader calls in a weather effect. Weather effects negate the attack damage of all units in a particular row. So in this case, his 2 units that he buffed, they're knocked down to 1, doubled by the commander's horn, so that goes to 2. Unfortunately, my units are also debuffed at the same time, so their attack is drawn down as well. Now I don't have any commander horns, so instead I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I win this one. Now this card might have a attack of 1, but his ability makes it so that anyone else in that row gets a +1 attack as well, which means that I just gained 2, but it's more than enough to let me win this one. My leader's other ability allows it so that when I win a round, I get to draw an extra card, which is what's happening right now. Commander horns can be very helpful, and in this case, I think it will be very helpful. I'm going to go ahead and play this one. And this guy clearly is very artillery heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Now her ability makes it so that I can resurrect any of the normal unit cards from my discard pile. Still a pretty close match right now. My decoy allows me to pull back any of the units that I've deployed, so I'm going to pull her back again, because when I redeploy her, that means that I get to use her ability again. Now clearly he's low on moves if he's playing that Fog of War, because I have nothing that goes into that middle area. In this case, I'm going to pull out another artillery unit. This guy will give a +1 to all the rest of the artillery units. Yep, he's out of cards now. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, just to ensure my victory. He's got nothing left, and I don't need to play anything else. I've automatically won. I'll play one more, because I like this game.
Hard to argue with it.
Now, you can have cards that can do a lot of abilities, and sometimes it isn't always best to take units in because sometimes they don't have any abilities that come with them. So for instance, I could probably take out my level 5 characters here and here, since I don't need them anymore. You need at least 22 units in order to actually play your hand, but those guys were fairly low levels, and they didn't have any abilities, so I don't actually need them in my deck. Gives me a greater likelihood of getting the cards that I actually want, like my spy cards. I don't have very many artillery cards right now, so I'm going to switch this guy out. Got another spy, so that's helpful. Alright, I'm going to use all these. These should be good. Alright, so obviously computers can play spy cards as well, which means that he also gets... But I can switch out my decoy for his spy, and then play that spy. This is a surprisingly simple game with a lot of replay value. I'm actually very surprised. Now, the cards with the sun around them, like these three, those are not affected by any sort of abilities. So even if I played a card, one of these cards down here, and then put a commander's horn down on it, this guy wouldn't get double attack. He'd have the same exact number of attack. I'm going to go ahead and keep playing my spy cards down. Alright. So these two guys here will double each other's attack if I play them both at the same time. Just like that. So he's passed. I'm going to go ahead and play this because he's a particularly artillery heavy opponent, and I don't need to play anything else because I've won. Now because I won, I have to go first. So I'm going to go ahead and play some of my cards down. Ooh. That's okay. For me right now, it's just a game of patience. He's got nothing left, so I've automatically won. I'm just going to go ahead and play it all out anyway, because I'm cruel like that. And there we go. Alright, that was fun, but way too easy. There are a lot more difficult Gwent players. I'm gonna go ahead and do the actual quest now. I'll show you one of the actual side quests. This is not tied to any sort of main quest. So this is one of the examples of how side quests are written in this game. Now I could get distracted with the notice boards or that quest giver right there, but I'm gonna stay focused on this particular main quest.
Slower.
So I mentioned yesterday that I'm using a couple mods. Those are just simple functionality mods, nothing visual. I have a weight mod on to make sure that I can carry as much as I want to because I'm a pack rat like that and I don't want to spend the time managing my inventory. I have a mod that was supposed to unlock the dev tools, but I think that's disabled for now. And a couple other very minor mods that I can't quite remember right now. I think I'm in a new town, so...
Barrel hoops to blades, I've got it all. But I'm guessing you're more interested in blades.
Show me what you got then.
So usually when you come across merchants or store owners, sometimes it's good to check and see what their inventory is. None of this stuff I can really use. I can sell some of these things. I should probably switch out my sword, but... I really should go through my inventory and better manage it, but that's one of the advantages of having a weight mod. I don't have to worry about checking for what I'm carrying that much. And I'm not going to place any cards with this guy.
Fair win.
I can always come back later and do that. I'm more interested in the quest right now. Alright, here we go. I'll let it play out.
The woodland spirit seeks revenge. This here is him saying we've strayed from the old paths.
Offended him? The monster's killed 5 already. He doesn't give a rat's arse about paths or tracks or me or you. He's a ploughing beast from the ploughing forest.
Split his ribcage. A strong one, this spirit of yours.
That's so. And who might you be?
Geralt. I'm a witcher.
A killer for hire. What do you seek here?
Saw your notice.
What notice? This village is home to decent folk only. You won't find any work here.
Sure about that? Beast that did this, it's aggressive and incredibly strong. I can help you for a price.
I like this man. Ply your trade, Witcher. I believe we will agree terms.
Who or what is this woodland spirit?
Tell you what, it's not any of your concern.
It's a common beast. Murders any man who ventures into its territory.
Exhaustive as descriptions go. What does this spirit look like? Anyone seen it for themselves?
No man alive has.
Great. Really helpful, all of you. Birds pecked apart his entrails. And here, tooth marks. A large dog, a wolf maybe. This the way it always kills?
Only cowards. True warriors. Men with the hearts of predators. The spirit grants them an honorable death.
You said the creature wants revenge. Why? For what?
Our forefathers hunted with spear and knife. This pleased the woodland spirit. He let us live in peace. We never knew hunger.
He killed back then too. He's always killed. How many lads died trying to become hunters? Now, since our hunters died in the war, the beasts turned even more bloodthirsty.
We are ungreat. What others buy with gold, we buy with our lifeblood.
We are slaves to fear spread by blind fools like you. These woods are ours. High time we put an end to this beast.
I've heard enough. You've got a monster problem, that's clear. Just not sure you want it solved.
Oh, we do. Come see me. We'll figure us a fair price for the beast's head.
Our little talk while I looked over the corpse? Not nearly enough. Need to look around, figure out what I'm up against.
Be not rash, killer. It's not too late to bring back the old ways.
I'll decide what to do. But start collecting coin, just in case.
So, I want to just point something out real quick. This is just a side quest. It's a quest I got from a notice board, and there's dozens of notice boards throughout the game. It's just one quest of many. However, this is not a simple take your item and go and kill this particular creature and then come back for your reward kind of quest. This is a complex quest with conversations and dialogues, opinions, and conflict, and not just in combat. This is the kind of thing that defines The Witcher for me. This is what makes a huge difference compared to other similar RPGs.
Got a trail to follow. Wonder where it leads.
And I've played plenty of RPGs. I played hundreds of hours of Skyrim and Oblivion. I've played every Dragon Age. You know, just tons of RPGs. This one stands out by far.
Thin and deep cuts. Got him like a razor.
That's a trap.
Smashed bones. That takes strength. No point in trying to parry its blows.
And this is just one of many monster hunting type quests. But even though I've seen similar monsters to this in other areas, I can't be certain that I've seen the exact same type of monster even in this type of quest. They have such a variety of monsters. Oh, time to kill some wolves. So I'm casting a shield on myself so that if I get hit, the attack bounces off and hits the enemy instead. It's a pretty useful spell to use, especially against hard, high-level enemies that just like to hit you a lot. That can keep you alive. Oop.
Sharpened its claws, or just marked off its territory. Ileshin. Male. Very old. Damn it. Probably marked one of the villagers.
Alright. So this game does include a bestiary where you can read about many of the creatures. I need to read about Leshens, and I think those are... There we go. I'm surprised I got that right. Vulnerable to fire. Now the signs can be a little bit intimidating at first. I'll go over those in a second. Okay. So those are oils you can use and bombs you can use. Bombs are definitely good for when you're playing on harder difficulties of combat. Oils are for very experienced players that know exactly what they're doing and how to make them and how to use them. The nice thing about oils is that once you make them once, you don't have to make them ever again. They'll just, as long as you meditate, they'll keep refilling. So these are all the different types of bombs and some of the oils and all that kind of stuff that you can make. You need to find ingredients to use those. But I'm going to go ahead and craft some stuff. Alright, well, there goes all that. Now the signs are what's kind of important when you're in combat. There are 5 different types of signs. The one I'm using is Quen, that's the protective shield. Igni is fire damage. Axii influences opponents' minds. I don't use it too much. I think it can stun opponents for a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be very particularly effective. Ard is a telekinetic blast that can knock enemies backwards. Very useful against enemies that are shielded. And Yrden is a magic trap, which I think is totally broken. I can't know for sure. I have not been able to trap anyone with it other than in the tutorial. The Woodland Spirit, but I did read about it in the bestiary. Oh, there we go. Woodland Spirit. Alright, so that means I'm probably going to have to kill one of the villagers, which kind of sucks. Now that's the first time I've had to read the bestiary in any real detail, but it does give you a good idea of... It's important to look at it if you're going up against particularly difficult creatures, because it can give you an idea of how to take them out relatively simply.
Didn't have many friends, did he?
Folk aren't willing to look at this kind of death today. But in the past, I remember, I was just a lad. Lugos Hairlip led a raid on our village. Found nothing but silence and fog. I could barely make out my pa and my uncles lying in wait behind the trees. I remember how they hunted down one warrior after another, and once they surrounded Hairlip himself, well, I believe he'd rather have faced the Woodland Spirit.
Your spirit is a very old Leshen. He's dangerous, but I should be able to deal with him.
Rid us of him, yet he's what made us invincible, turned us into great warriors.
Maybe I wasn't clear. The Woodland Spirit is a monster. Cut with a sword, he'll bleed and die. Like you, like me.
He's much more. Thanks to him, the woods teem with game, and our women bear strong babes. The power of the Woodland Spirit makes us the best hunters in the Isles. True, not every lad who sets out to be a hunter survives the sacred ritual, but aren't witchers made at similar cost?
Back by the tree, you said you know another way to stop the Leshen.
We must return to the old path, restore the old ways, roam the woods with knife and spear, fight on even terms and prove our valor. That would please him. Our ancestors placed the Covenant Stone in the woods, laid sacrifices of prized game on it, and thus made a pact. Do as they did. Go south along the brook, submit to the trial by burning a sacrifice of wolves' hearts on the sacred spot.
So this is one of those situations that comes up occasionally in The Witcher, where I have to make a decision and there isn't necessarily an obviously right answer. The creature, the Leshen, is definitely a monster, but considering how many monsters I've had to kill, having opportunities to not kill monsters is always a welcome change. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try it this guy's way and not kill the monster, at least not for now.
Try it your way, but if it fails, I'll have to kill the beast.
Wise choice. The spirit will subject you to trial, but you cannot succumb. Succeed in renewing the covenant, and I'll spare no gold in rewarding you.
Alright. So obviously this game is very pretty. I'm not running at the highest settings to try and save my frame rate, but even then this is quite an impressive looking game. So you can see my shield just blocks some of that damage. Come here, wolf. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to fire damage. Oh, you sneaky bastard. Alright. One of the other mods I installs makes crafting ingredients drop much more often, which has been helpful, but even the rare ingredients are still pretty rare. Place the offerings on the altar. There we go. Having magical powers definitely helps sometimes. That was weird. I have no idea what that meant. I can't lean back. This is how I play. I'm talking into the microphone. Hey.
The Leshen accepted my offering.
I saw the smoke rise and crows dance in the sky. Everything will return to the old ways.
You'll see in a few days. I've done my part.
Expecting coin, eh? Don't fret. I've got your gold. Take it. You've earned every last bit.
You do know young boys will continue to die at the Covenant Stone trying to become hunters. The killing will never end.
I've not paid you to lecture me. You've done your job. It's time you left.
Well, well, Harold. Paying the Witcher behind our backs to sod off and let the monster live.
We finished off the other elders. Just one left.
Death's but another stage in the cycle. I embrace it.
Be gone, Witcher, and you can keep your coin.
Think murder will change something?
You've done your part. Got your coin. What are you waiting for? No monsters left around here.
I won't let you kill him.
The Witcher first. Get him.
That's a bad idea. I think that's it. Alright, well, that ended. Wait. Is Sven still alive? Nope, I guess he's dead. Okay. I'm gonna meditate for an hour. Guess that refills my health. Cool. Alright, and now that I'm close enough to level 30, I can go ahead and take on this quest. This is one of those that I've been holding on to for a while. But that's because I was not a high enough level. Hopefully now I'm a high enough level to take that on. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Actually, let me level up first. Character. There we go. Oops. Alright.
Storm, damn it.
No, Cyclops. Surprise! Walking upstairs can be a little bit difficult on the mouse and keyboard, but... Oh, well then. Okay.
Portal. Shit.
Yeah. Nowhere to go but in there. Oh.
Great. Portal closed. Looked smaller from the outside.
I wonder if that's a TARDIS joke. I'm afraid I can't do that. What? Oh. This guy's got a lot of health. So I'm going to use my shield. Shield. Bring it back up. Shield's gonna get. Man, he's doing a lot of damage actually. Now, in this game, you don't have health potions in the traditional sense. You can eat food, and that will restore some of your health slowly, but it takes a long time. Alcohol and other drinks will restore your health more quickly, but it also gets you drunk in the process and makes doing everything a lot harder.
Finally, someone's come to free me. And the famous Witcher at that. Thank the gods. I'm damned lucky you happened to be in Korea. Was it King Tancred who sent you, or the Society of Magic?
Neither, and we're not in Kovir. We're in Skellige. Local folk hired me. See, your towers brought a massive storm to their island.
We're in Skellige. So we've teleported.
Surprise.
Oh, this is much worse than I thought.
Not sure I follow.
Oh, the tower is outfitted with a defensive regulatory magic on.
What?
A defensive system magic, ensuring only the tower's owner will use it. When it detects an intruder, it locks down all the rooms, denies access.
And since neither of us is the tower's owner, the golem attacked me and you're stuck behind bars. How do we evade its other charming features?
We must deactivate the defensive regulatory magic on. The tower's prior owner wrote a treatise about removing such defenses. Gottfried's omni-opening grimoire. There must be a copy in the tower. Find it, please. With it in hand, I can try to circumvent the security measures, send you home and take the tower back to Kovir.
Is this a hacking quest disguised as magic? Interesting.
You clearly know who I am. I don't even know your name.
Seagull Bunce, mage and sorcerer in residence at the court of Compmanis. This tower was to be my new home. Bought it at an auction, you see.
A tower at an auction?
It belonged to Gottfried Stamfeld, a mage of some renown. When he passed on, his heirs auctioned the edifice off. They were all wary, repulsed. None dared see what Uncle Godfrey kept in his coloured jars. If it was their contents that had stripped him of his sense of smell and taken his left eye, they put the tower on the block, along with all it contained. The price was unbeatable. I couldn't resist.
Some folk from the village came in here, right?
Their remains lie beside the golem. They came in a few days past. I was surprised to see their garb, but it just never entered me mind we might be in Skellige. There were just a few, led by a druid. The tower warned them. They failed to heed.
Folk on Skellig usually laugh in the face of warnings. If the tower had asked nicely, then offered them a horn of mead, they might have left then. Right. Time to get out of here and send this tower home. Where do I look for Gottfried's treatise? Any ideas?
The library might be a logical place to start. The key should be in the laboratory.
Where's that?
As you enter the room opposite, you'll see the laboratory to your left. The library straight ahead. But remember, you're an intruder. The tower is certain to want to stop you. Make things difficult at the least.
We'll see who breaks first.
Oh, sweet.
Intruder in tower. Acquies counter.
Hi, Juno. No, Juno, you're not on the camera yet. What? Do you want something? She wants food. Just saying. Now, one thing I would recommend, if you haven't started playing the game, when you do... Whoops. When you start doing quests... Don't get halfway through and then stop. You'll forget where you're doing and forget where you're supposed to go. And sometimes that can mean that quests become very, very difficult to solve. And, oh, hello. Gargoyles. Oh, he just puked on me. Gross. smart idea. Shields up. I need to get out of here. Meditate, I'm basically dead. Oh, time to leave. Now, I've given myself the ability to heal very slowly, but considering how low my health is there, meditating for an hour is a much better idea. Nothing like using underwater keys. Alright, now we have to find Gilbert Gottfried's memoir. Oh, there we go.
Gottfried's omni-opening grimoire. This is it. Looks like he's suffocated. Damn tower waited to gas me. Intersections and geomantic lines. Not what I'm looking for. Applied golemancy. Gotta keep looking. Applied golemancy. Gotta keep looking.
Find the toll.
This it?
It is indeed. Now, back away a bit. I must deactivate the barrier. Olfayu, Ivaris, Advidya.
Golem probably greeted them too.
I don't know if this quest is bugged. This mage is not moving. Come on, buddy. Nothing. Ah, garbage. Not going back up that way.
Them too.
Alright. Come on, wake up. Well, I think he's stuck. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to end the stream here and look up and see what to do. Alright. Can't save my game right now. What? But garbage. Alright, never mind.